James, today I'm going to start with an interesting fact. I'm going to tell you something that you will not believe. And I know you won't believe it because I didn't believe it. Did you know that Finland has more saunas than cars?
You fucking dick! Oh, my fact!
It was your fact, and I turned it around and used it on you. How are you doing, James?
I'm not happy with you anymore.
Well, you're very rarely happy with me, and I'm very rarely bothered by that, so we can...
Did you know sauna is the most used Finnish word outside of Finland?
Oh, I didn't know it was a Finnish word.
Did I? The YouTube video earlier told me.
I
may
see.
have watched a YouTube video on 101 facts about Finland.
Well, there are worse ways to spend your time, I suppose. You could be listening to this podcast.
Speaking of which, there was someone who I assume is listening to this one that listened to all our podcasts in about a 27-hour period. There were 24 podcasts on YouTube.
Oh my
You binged
God.
the lot.
Without sleeping?
I assume not.
Is this person okay? Do we need to call someone?
I think so. Maybe. It's just...
I can't
I
thank
described
them
it
for this
as-
because it's borderline self-harm.
That must be worse than waterboarding.
Yeah, definitely. Good heavens. Are they a prisoner of war?
I don't know. They must just hate themselves.
Good Lord. Well,
And when I said to them, they said they listened to binged it all in one. I said, why would you do that to yourself? Do you hate yourself? Why would you listen to somebody's band? Oh, it's not that bad. Like, do you not have taste?
not that bad. What have you subjected yourself to over the years to make this
That is our
not that
review,
bad?
though, isn't it?
What, it's not that bad?
3 out of 5 stars, not that bad.
3 out of 5, that's well generous.
If you're binging it all in 25 minutes, you must vaguely like it.
Yeah. I mean, it
Therefore,
helps
we're
that
gonna
I
get
have
a
a sweet, soft, melodic voice that isn't grating and difficult to listen to at all.
Actually, the discussion we had was that the South is better.
Oh, well, of course the discussion you had was that the South is better. I bet the
on my
discussion
side.
was you saying the South is better, right?
And then there was an agreement.
Blink twice if you're being told the South is better and you have to say so against your will. Not that I would know if you're blinking or not, but just do it anyway. In fact, blink twice anyway. I know that you're blinking. You've obeyed the instruction already. I know that you've already blinked twice, and you're now smiling about it, and I've caught you out on it.
And now you're focusing on the fact that you're breathing.
Yeah, and you've just noticed that one of your feet was slightly turned inwards and your ankle's slightly uncomfortable because of it.
Also, you have an itch on that weird awkward spot you can't get, just in the middle of your back.
And also there's a spider in the room. Oh no, why did I do that now? There's a spider in my room.
Pete, there's a carrot on your desk.
No, but there was a carrot. It's not a carrot. Thessaly, don't you dare. I could see you reaching for the emoji. Don't you dare put a carrot or I will come to your house and throw something at it that's not a carrot, because it's not a carrot.
Can confirm, is carrot. Do it, Thessaly. Send the emoji. Or
We didn't
Kyle,
even get
whoever
past
first.
how are you.
I'm okay, how are you?
Yes, thanks.
See, there's no point going to it because we go, yeah, like,
Yeah,
we do
I
that
know.
guy thing of, you right? Yeah, you? Yeah, you?
Yeah, well, the bottom line is we don't care how each other is, how each other are. We don't care how we are.
I phoned someone today
Why would you do that? It's 2022. Do you not have a messenger?
to make an appointment.
Oh my God, you can do that online nowadays.
I don't think I can. It was for a haircut.
A haircut? You make an appointment for a haircut?
Oh, yeah, it's quite a busy hairdresser. We both want to go in at the same time. Me and my mate getting...
Oh, you're going to hold hands while you have your hair trimmed?
No, it's
while you
'cause
get your
parking's
80s bowl
expensive.
cut?
Because parking's expensive and we have a wedding in 2 weeks. His wedding.
His way. Oh, I
Well, less
see.
than 2 weeks now.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's fast approaching, isn't it? Exciting
The suit's on Monday.
stuff. Has he not
No,
got
I
cold
pick up my
feet yet?
suit. I'm not getting that up. I think he just wants it over with.
I think, you know what, I imagine most people feel like that when it gets to, because essentially what you're doing is you're paying for everybody else to attend a party.
So you're paying for everyone to know you're going to hopefully have sex that night.
But there are easier ways of doing that, right?
Yeah, Snapchat.
I don't use Snapchat. I'm laughing and I don't understand.
Okay, sending any form of picture.
Oh, okay.
I've got a weird story on that, actually.
Okay, here we go. Fasten your seatbelts that are on your ears, folks.
When I was in uni, I was good mates with this guy. I'm still friends with him now, actually. It's not like we hate each other or anything now. We shouldn't talk as much because we're further apart. But we had plans the next day. We were going somewhere. I think we were going off-roading. On the Sunday. So the Saturday evening, I messaged him. Or I FaceTimed him. Just like see what the plan is and all that. Oh. I FaceTimed him. And I know what his room looks like. I've been in his room before. And he was he was in a weird position. And he was slightly out of breath and sweaty. I'm like, what are you doing? and he flipped the camera around and there was a girl bent over in front of him. Now, I'm sorry, but why would you answer the FaceTime call? And his words were,
what?
I thought it might have been important.
Okay.
I was just like, stop! She was like, stop!
Oh no. That's awkward.
Yeah, and then he flipped the camera back around. Yeah, so what's up? I was like, I'm not talking to you right now.
Okay, so I don't know.
Your penis is inside another person. I don't.
Oh, for God's sake! No, you see, I'm uncomfortable just hearing about the story. I can't imagine what any of the other participants would have been feeling.
He was fine with it. She found it hilarious. It was quite funny afterwards. At the time, I'm just like, stop! Especially when he flipped the camera, I was worried what I was going to see because I was pretty sure what he was doing. What's he going to point the camera? I don't want to see that much of my friend.
I need to find someone to take my place on these podcasts because you just find new ways of making my skin crawl each week.
What else make your skin crawl, Pete?
Oh God, no! Don't say it.
This week's sponsor, Spider Crate.
Oh no! There it is again. For $8.99 a month, we'll send you a box filled to the brim with spiders, and it will enrich your life in ways you could not have possibly imagined.
Pete doesn't know, as I've sent him a free sample that'll be arriving sometime tonight.
Oh shit! You know what? Actually, what's really weird? Bees keep getting into this house.
If you had spiders, they get rid of them.
Well, I'd prefer the bees, but I don't know where they're getting. But it's the only thing that's getting in is bees. Nothing else. Just bees, and they're big fuck off ones that are near the size of your fist as well. So they're
the size of your fist.
Well, you know what I mean. But like the size of your eyeball. But which is a really weird way of measuring things. Like I'm trying to make happy.
That is an imperial measurement.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm trying to make happy pleased. I'm going to say make happy, which doesn't make any sense.
Oh, you can make him happy. You just got to rub him in the right way.
Oh dear. Listen here, Mr. Business
shiny
Goose.
Head.
Yeah.
What are you thinking of? What are you thinking of, Pete?
I meant his thigh or something. But yeah, it's only the really.
You rub Happy's inner thigh, are you?
Yes, I am, and I'm going to make eye contact with the whole thing. Yeah, the bumblebees that are the size of a golf ball or something stupid.
More better.
More better. This is good England. We speak very good, nice words. So the entry point must be rather large for them to get in. They are the words from our mouths. We're on brand. But if you
speaking of brand, Spider Crate.
For God's sake, I'm trying to tell you about my bee problem. So you know that meme, it's The Simpsons, where Mo chucks Barney out and then he appears behind him in the next frame.
Behind him, yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened the other day because there was a bee in the living room and Charlotte and Edward were panicking. So I got rid of the bee, put it out the front door. As soon as I shut the door, another one, which were possibly the same one, came from behind me from the dining room. I was like, how the hell have you got here? It was within a second as well. But I don't know where they're getting in. I moved another one today.
Maybe there's a beehive in your house.
I think there'd be more bees than we're getting if there was a hive. But I just don't know where they're getting in and why only bees want to get in and nothing else.
Do you have lots of sugar all over your walls?
Well, yeah, but it's decorative.
I'm not even going to get into that kettle of worms.
Kettle of worms. Note to self: don't go to James's for a coffee.
I don't own a kettle, actually.
Oh, are you American? Do you microwave your water for a cup of tea?
No, I've got one of those instant hot cup water things.
Oh, I see. You're a posh boy. And Jeeves brings your cup of tea on a tray.
It's not the one built into the tap. It's like a coffee maker, basically, but just puts hot water out.
So you fill the back of it with water and it puts hot water out.
Yeah, but it does a cup worth.
Very nice.
It's quite cool, actually. And it's quicker than a kettle and more energy efficient.
Ah, thank you for keeping the planet greener.
According to the advert.
Yes, of course they'll say it, won't they, the bastards? Hey, you know what? Actually, on that note, with like a lot of companies making a push to encourage, I think the virtue signaling, to be honest. But I got an advert on YouTube for one. Which
companies virtue signaling? Never.
I know, it's just unheard of, isn't it? But I got an advert for one on YouTube that really sort of made me like boggled my mind. It was for Loctite, you know, the super glue company.
Yes.
They were saying, say no to waste and just fix it and stuff like that. And there was imagery of people taking broken toys out of a bin to glue them together. It's like, well, they're already throwing it in the bin. They're not going to see the glue and think, oh shit, yeah, I'll get out of the bin. First that made me mad. But then it was saying, say no to waste. And then the very last image was like 20 empty packets of glue, because they're only like 3 grams. And there was just waste packaging everywhere. And it's like, do you realise you're just saying, say no to waste, and then showing us non-biodegradable waste scattered around?
The waste.
Yeah, you're just moving the waste from one place to another. Because you make it in such tiny, like, inefficient tubes as well. If you made a big fuck-off squirty bottle of it, like a hand sanitizer bottle, with like a litre in it, then it'd be worth it.
Within a minute, within 2 uses, you'd forget to put the lid on it, it would go solid.
That's what we call user error.
Because they used to do bigger tubes of it. They only do the little ones now because people are only using 3 milligrams out of it every time anyway, because it's one use basically, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, but you'd learn eventually, wouldn't you, after to buy a few.
Aren't they?
The what, sorry?
The little tiny ones are recyclable because they're metal.
They probably are. It was just the imagery was just funny of them saying no to waste and then showing all the waste that they make from those simple repairs that they did.
We use a surprising amount of super glue at work.
That's worrying because you're a mechanic.
I'm not gluing a brake pad back.
No, sorry, mate. Yeah, your gearbox is held together by super glue.
I've glued bits to gearboxes of super glue.
I imagine you'd use it for more like the interiors of cars.
Yeah, and like plastic clips that hold wires out the way and stuff like that. We'll glue them back together because they never come apart.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you're not gluing the bumper or you're not gluing the steering wheel on.
I've glued bumpers on.
Actually, I suppose that would be all right, really.
It's supported with bolts and stuff, but I've glued bits of bumpers back together, like grills, glue them on. That's more resin rather than glue, but it's still just a type of glue. Glued holes in tyres.
Nice.
I haven't actually glued a hole in a tyre, Pete.
I was going to say that this doesn't seem safe, but I'll just go with it. It's not my tyre you're gluing, so go ahead.
How do you know it's not your tyre? You can buy second-hand tyres.
Oh, it could be then, I suppose. Actually, I've not replaced the tyres on this car yet.
Speaking of,
I did check them actually after that. They're fine.
Speaking of our argument last week, for the extra $4,000 that you spend on your car, you could pay me, and I will go through the hassle of selling your car for you.
Oh right, okay. I'm not going to do that.
Like $3,000.
No.
So I'll give you $1,000 of what is the savings. You make an extra £1,000 and have no more hassle, and I make $3,000.
No.
That's basically what We Buy Any Car are doing for you. I've just invented We Buy Any Car.
You've just invented what's already invented, James. You can't do that. Schofield. Right, I've invented sliced bread.
That's the best thing since. Wait a minute.
What I do is I buy sliced bread and I re-slice it. I glue it back together.
And you slice it lengthways. So you just get bread fingers.
Bread fingers, yeah. So it's like you've got your egg and soldiers. You got your egg and your soldiers are pre-made.
Completely forgot what I was going to say. I got distracted by a Wales picture in the Discord.
Wales? Like the...
It's a stick of rock. If anyone wants to see this picture, you should join our Discord. It's in the description below.
Yeah, join Discord. Come chat with us.
Look at that plug. Like a professional podcaster. We've got the sponsor.
Almost. The Discord, which doesn't exist. It does, that's real.
The Discord does exist. The name of the podcast, which is shit.
Yeah.
That's all we need, isn't it? 15 minutes, done.
Yeah, okay. Thanks for listening, everybody. We will see you next week. I didn't bring any talking points this time, actually.
No, I didn't either.
No, it's not very professional of me.
I made a burrito yesterday.
You did make a burrito, and then we moved on to the burrito, which is when you wrap a cat in a blanket, and it wasn't very happy, actually, when Perry did it.
We have content.
We do?
We got an email from a viewer.
What? You didn't tell me?
I've only just remembered.
Oh.
I will read out the email.
Okay.
The email subject is cunts.
Ah.
Pete, my tainted love so dear, you have the wit of donkey's rear. Your pizza-stained hands would clench dread at the things I'll do to your big round head. James, you festering bag of shite, your voice is loud and your intellect slight. I hope you get A's from a chimpanzee. That thought brings me much warmth and glee.
I'm going to guess that was Tio.
It was. Wake up, Theo!
Oh, God, please. I need that as my alarm clock, actually, because it startles me just enough. And then when people say, why is your alarm clock saying wake up Tio? Don't ask questions about my alarm clock. First of all, why are you in my bedroom watching me sleep? And second of all, don't ask questions about my alarm clock.
Thirdly, can you pass that towel? It's cold. Towel? Blanket.
Towel? Pass that towel, I'm wet.
I woke up in sweats.
Yes.
It's the night terrors again.
Night terrors.
You're just being chased by a wheel of cheese in your night terrors, aren't you?
No, a carrot on my desk.
Look down, Pete.
Hey, have you ever suffered from sleep paralysis on that note?
No.
No. I have once. And I got the full blown night hag hallucination from it as well.
Oh, nice. That was fun, wasn't it?
Do you know about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, explain it to people that may not know about it. But
Okay, so the night hag is something that's commonly hallucinated during sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis is when your brain wakes up but your body doesn't, sort of. So you're sort of hanging in the balance. And what happens there is your muscles try to move but don't sort of activate properly, which is in the end result quite painful because you're sort of like it's almost a seizure in a sense. But your brain will start to rationalize what's happening in a spooky way for some people, particularly if you've got an overactive imagination or you expose yourself to a lot of horror, I guess, or dark media. Drugs can definitely influence it. So the typical description of the night hag is that you will wake up, or you'll feel like you wake up completely normal, but there'll be someone stood in your doorway if your bed's facing your doorway, or at the end of your bed, if whatever. And then they will climb onto the bed, climb onto your chest, and look you in the eye whilst putting their hands around your neck, and they will start to throttle you until you properly wake up and realise there was nothing there, but you will feel all the pains as if somebody was kneeling on you and throttling you. What you're actually feeling is the relaxation of your muscles after them tensing up a lot. But it's a phenomenon that's so common that it's been called the night hag and has eventually been diagnosed as sleep paralysis. And it is one of the most horrifying things you will ever experience it. And especially when, like, the time I experienced it, I lived alone. And it was, it prevented me from sleeping properly for about 2 weeks. Absolutely horrible.
I do wonder the amount of people that see the night hag. I wonder how many of them haven't heard the story before, or how many of them get sleep paralysis, body realises what it's doing, and then gives you the night hag image.
There's probably so when you sort of rabbit hole into researching about stuff, there are probably people who suffered from sleep paralysis, and then after doing some research, stumbled upon the story of the night hag, and then were subject to it. For me, I mean, in some ways that would be less harrowing, because you would already be familiar with the sleep paralysis effect, and you would have, hopefully, if you weren't panicking too much, you might have some understanding of what was going on. So I've only experienced it the once, and that was before I learned about it. So it was pretty darn horrible.
Were there brown stains in your bed?
No, there were not, but there were extra locks purchased for doors. Just because it made me paranoid. It's like when you live alone, and when it's quiet and you've got no one to bounce ideas off or anything like that. It's difficult because
Don't forget, Pete, you can always message me and I will ignore you.
I can, yeah, actually. This was around the time we first started talking, actually. So,
Pete, it wasn't a night hag.
No,
I'm sorry to tell you it was me.
Oh well, that explains why she was so damn ugly.
The stickiness all over you wasn't ectoplasm.
Oh. That's something I'd expect from Tio.
I did manage to wake up the other day. I don't normally do this, but I drooled that much the pillow was slightly stuck to my face.
I drool a lot when I'm sleeping. In fact,
I don't normally. Never
just today,
I woke up and I was just like, why is the pillow wet and on my face? Fuck off, fuck off, fuck off.
Because you were trying to eat it in your sleep.
It was about 3 days later, about 3 hours later, so I was just like, I must have drooled. That's the only logical reason for the pillow to have been that wet. I was very drunk though, so I might have thrown up,
at least. Oh, gee, that's horrible.
It didn't smell like it. I have changed the bedding since.
I should hope so.
Yearly bedding change.
Just before, a few hours ago, I took Charlotte out to somewhere Why is my mind blank? I was sat in a car. I was sat in the car park
The
waiting
woods
for
to
her.
murder her?
Yes, she is gone now. I was sat in the car park waiting for her, and she was gone about an hour, and I fell asleep. And she phoned me to let me know she was done because I had to pay for the parking thing, so I had to bring my ticket to the thing to pay. And she phoned me when I didn't answer the messages, and I woke up and because my head had lulled forward and my jacket had sort of creased, and I'd made a little pool of drool in my jacket, and it was absolutely horrible. I drool an awful lot when I sleep, so there you go. There you learned something about me today. I don't know, it just happens. I can't. If I could control it, I wouldn't do it. I don't like it. I don't like waking up with drool everywhere.
I didn't just mean because of that. I just meant in general. What is wrong?
Oh God! Don't open that kettle of worms.
It's just what is wrong with you?
Let's
Let's open that kettle of worms. Also, that's now a phrase.
Yes, kettle of worms. It's now a staple. What's wrong with it? I think it'd be easier to list what's right with me. Oh, actually, I changed my mind.
You're loyal to your job.
Yes, but without good cause.
You're lazy. No, that's not a good thing. Yeah. If you can think of any good things about Pete, leave them in the comments below.
Yeah, I'm counting on you, Mum.
If it's like most of our comment sections, comment sections, there won't be any.
James, will you please read the script before you try and say the words?
I can't fucking read.
Could you imagine if someone believed that any of this was scripted? Oh, good Lord.
I don't know if I believe I could read.
Well, there is that.
I need pictures.
But yeah, you'd have been done well in ancient Egypt when it was all pictures, right?
Yeah, I speak ancient Egyptian.
Could you imagine like cheerleading in ancient Egypt? It's like, give me a cat, a hill, and a sun ray.
Give me Ra. Shit! The sun god has come.
Accidentally summoning the sun god.
Give me a plague of locusts. Oh, bollocks, not again.
I don't think that happened a lot.
You weren't there.
I am old.
You're not that old.
No. I feel it at work. My God.
Can we do a wordsfromourmouths field trip?
Where would you like to go?
Egypt.
Egypt. Why? If you're going to try and sell me for camels, I swear to God.
Okay. I want to go to see the pyramids and I want to sell you for camels.
One of these things is allowed, and I'm not telling you which one.
You'd like to go live on a camel farm, wouldn't you?
You know what? I bet camels are great.
No, they fucking stink.
So, I stink. I found my people. I stink. I walk with a slouch. It looks like I've got a hump. I drool a lot. And I store a lot of fat, but my hump is on my front rather than my back. So if I just do a crab walk, they'll think I'm one of them.
How long can you crab walk for?
I don't think I could even get into that position, James. Not without needing medical assistance to return to standing.
Me? I'm giving you a foot because you bounced as you fell.
That's generous to let gravity count.
Well, you actually bounced about 4 foot forward, but then you rolled 3 foot back in pain, so...
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I told you I sprained my ankle last week, didn't I?
Yeah, to the shop.
Yes, and since then, because it made me walk funny, because I didn't rest it for long enough, because I'm stupid.
Rice,
yes. Rest, ice compression, elevation. But yes, because I've been walking funny, the rest of my leg is sore. And when...
I do like how every non-English speaker that listens to us then goes, what the fuck are they on about? It's an acronym you get taught in school for first aid of sprains and stuff. And yeah, you're supposed to rest it, ice it, compress it, and elevate it above your heart.
Yes. Which I did for like 2 hours, and then went back to... Well, I took 2 days off work, but I didn't really...
You fucking mitcher.
What?
Yeah, you mitcher.
What does that mean? Is that some sort of southern slang?
Quite possibly. If you skip school and stuff, it was called mitching.
Mitching, right? Okay.
Yep.
Why? What's the meaning behind mitching?
I don't fucking know.
Oh, well, don't say things if you don't understand them, James. That's what my mum always taught me. That doesn't stop me saying words I don't understand.
Well, Pete, say the word engine.
Engine.
How do they
Bollocks.
work?
Yes, they do. They work through fire, magic, and disbelief.
Suck, squeeze, bang, blow.
Are you reading the menu for your escort there, or?
That's the title of my sex tape.
Oh, Jesus.
That's how engines work. Suck, squeeze, bang, blow.
What are the odds of an internal combustion engine just blowing up?
Very slim.
Very slim, right? Okay. They just
Because as part of that, what I just told you, suck, squeeze, bang, blow, you need to have that squeeze stage. If there's no squeeze because something's broken and there's no compression, there's no bang and there's no blow.
Oh. Interesting.
You could supposed to light the petrol on fire.
I wasn't trying to blow one up, James. I was just wondering if they're, just ticking time bombs.
No, I mean, they can just break, but they don't really blow.
So when, on Grand Theft Auto, when you shoot the back wheel of a car and eventually the engine sets on fire, that's not going to happen then?
No.
Right, okay.
I believe it was Mythbusters shot a fuel tank 100 times and he couldn't even get the fuel tank to explode.
Really?
Unless they're using tracer bullets, basically.
Are you telling me that films like 21 Jump Street and Hot Fuzz have lied to me?
Yes.
Was it Hot Fuzz? It might not have been Hot Fuzz.
I don't know. Hot Fuzz is a great film.
Was there an explosion in that? Oh no, the people got decapitated, didn't they, in that one when they were driving?
Yeah, and a guy speared himself in a model village.
That's right.
Ooh, it really hurts.
That is a good film, actually.
Shaun of the Dead's better.
You know what? I got sick of watching it because it was always on ITV.
It was always on ITV.
That and The Mummy.
The Mummy's a good film, though.
The Mummy is a good film. I think I could watch that every day, actually.
So when growing up, what was the film you watched every day? We've chucked up 4 topics in a row here, but let's keep going.
I don't give a crap. What film did I watch every day? I watched a lot of The Little Mermaid.
Watched the most.
Yeah. Me and my sister used to watch that.
Sony are going to claim this fucking episode with 32 views, whatever we're going to get.
Yeah. Well, 32. You'd been generous there. We don't have a guest today.
We had a guest. We got over 100, mate.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it good? People were interested
and
for a moment.
Rumour has it he might be coming back on again.
Rumour has it, yeah. As soon as we can pin down a date.
So, sometime between now and 2026.
Definitely that, yeah.
And we may have some other guests lined up.
We may have, but don't spill the beans, James. We're only 28 minutes in.
Pete might have some other guests lined up. Yeah, exactly. So they can't. People have to actually listen to the podcast. You can't just skip to the listen to the start, and listen to the end for the juicy bits. The juicy bits are in the middle. The meat is in the middle.
The meat is in the middle, just like any good sandwich.
Roll.
Okay, we went for different things, but it's the same.
Any good picnic item.
The meat is in the middle. Although I think I would prefer a sandwich if I had 2 slabs of beef with a piece of bread in the middle.
Unpopular opinion: I don't like cold meat sandwiches. This is ham.
Really?
I did a really, really stunning roast beef on Sunday.
And you wouldn't eat the roast beef cold afterwards on a sandwich?
No.
Oh.
Don't like it. The only one I do like is turkey. And that's because it makes me think of Christmas.
Cold turkey.
Cold turkey sandwiches.
Yes, I'll eat anything cold, and I'll eat anything cold on a sandwich as well.
But even not just a sandwich, I don't like cold meat for roast afterwards.
Oh God!
Why? I took all the veg, the spuds, the Yorkies. I know there was no Yorkies left. But yeah, I took what we had was a cauliflower and broccoli cheese bake. That was fucking good. I had 2 types of stuffing because we couldn't pick what stuffing we wanted. So we had both. Tell me my cousin are fat.
Maybe.
And carrot and turnip mashed together, or swede, technically. And then some roasties left over. Put all of that into a big mushy mess. Mixed it all up, fried it off. Ate that, had that for lunch the next day, dinner the next day, and lunch the day afterwards.
That's a good value meal, that, if it's done all that.
There was still meat in the fridge. I think there might still be. I might have to get rid of it by now.
Well, yeah, get rid of it by now. But next time, if you're going to be doing with that, just wrap it up nice and securely.
Send it to you?
Yes, send it my way and I will feast.
Did I send you a picture of the beef or not?
You did, actually. It looked absolutely amazing.
Fucking stunning.
It looked really, really good.
So good. Yeah, I ate like 4 slices. Probably about 4 slices during the roast. But that was it. I'm done now.
When you said Yorkie before, it reminded me of Yorkie the chocolate, obviously, because I'm also fat, and any mention of food leads me to other food. And do you remember when Yorkies were not for girls?
Yeah, didn't they get sued for that?
I don't know whether they got sued for it or it just became wildly inappropriate as the world moved on.
It was never one of those ones the girls can actually eat it.
Well, yeah, I know, but it was a joke. But it's like when real McCoys were Man Crisps.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. You can't advertise like that
does
anymore.
make me laugh. If you look at KP Nuts, it does say may contain nuts on the packet. I just fucking hope it does.
That's what I was going to say. If it doesn't, then I'll complain.
If I open it up and there's a fucking pork scratchings in there, actually, I'll probably be okay.
Why would you complain?
If I open it and there's an Allen key in there, I'm going to be a bit annoyed.
I tell you, speaking of packets of things, actually.
I bought an Allen key, opened it up, and there was some fucking peanuts in there, I'd be quite happy.
Yes, just put peanuts in everything. I just want nuts. Nuts in my mouth.
So you want what?
Yep, you heard. You can
Peanuts
clip that.
And everything and nuts in your
You
mouth?
can separate this audio from your audio, and you can put that on your tick and talk, or on your snappy chattel.
Separate this audio from that audio. They're already separated. I have to combine them.
That's what I mean. You can keep them separate then, and you can snip what I said there, and you can post it wherever you like, and I don't care about the context.
You just want nuts in your mouth.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Where were you going with this, by the way?
I don't know.
Continue to jump topics and forget.
I was just going to talk about how you can't advertise like that anymore.
Oh yeah. That was some funny adverts though.
Yeah.
There's a band VW one, and I love this advert so much. People should look it up on YouTube. It's called VW Bollocks.
Right.
And it's this little girl. And she's walking. It starts off. I can't remember what order. There's loads of little clips. I can't remember what order they're all in. But she goes to reach a biscuit on the shelf that she shouldn't really be taking out, sort of things. It's obviously right tippy toes on the counter. Goes to grab them, knocks the biscuit jar out of the way, and just can't reach any further. It's just bollocks. And then she's walking down the park with an ice cream in one hand, holding her mum's hand or whatever in the other. You can't see the adult. Looking at her ice cream, and the ice cream falls off the cone. And she just looks at it. She walks back and goes, bollocks. And then she's doing some painting and all that lot, and knocks the water over and spills it all over. Beautiful art. Bollocks. And then it cuts to the dad. They go to the petrol station. He's filling the car up, and he puts the green pump in, starts squeezing, goes, oh, bollocks! And the advert comes up. Don't forget it's a diesel. She sat back in the car.
I think I'd actually struggle if I had a diesel now, because I've never had one.
It's such a good advert, though.
You know, that's a clever way of getting people to remember.
Go watch the advert. Just search VW Bollocks advert.
Me or everybody else?
Everybody.
Everybody else.
You do it after the podcast. Everyone else.
Including Tio!
Right now. Including Tio, yes. Go watch the Bollocks advert and then come back and comment what you thought of Bollocks.
And we'll know if you watched it.
No. Wait. We've got to wait, Pete.
Oh, sorry. I'll wait. Yeah, I'll wait.
How long does the joke go too far?
How long's the advert?
I think the video's like a minute long.
Oh, right, okay. They'll be back in a minute. We'll just kill time till they get back. We've got about 30 more seconds. I was picking out all my purple paints before so I could paint a dwarf in purple. Isn't that interesting?
No, not at all.
No, I didn't think so either.
I've really printed some more stuff.
Welcome back from watching the advert, so just make sure you let us know what you think.
That may be the worst bit we've ever done.
I disagree.
We've done some shit.
I think it's about on par with the rest of our shit.
Oh, God. The worst thing is if we could have just paused the recording and carried on, but no, we actually just sat around for that time.
Oh, you know what? This is the quality that people have come to expect from us now. And if we change to actually being good at what we do, then we'll lose the listener base we've already got. So let's not risk anything by being competent.
6 of them.
Well, we 6 more than we had when we started, James. We don't want to lose them now.
I don't know. I think we had more when we started.
No, that was the sympathy views that we got from everybody. They were like, oh, Pete and James are doing a thing. We'll press the like button. Oh, we'll definitely tell our friends. We're going to put this podcast right here on the fridge where everyone can see it. It is like,
Speaking of which, I had somebody else tell me this week they listened to 2 of our podcasts while on a walk.
What?
I'm thinking,
Oh
if you do
God.
something as depressing as a walk, why would you add our shit
I know.
podcast
No.
to it?
Going for a walk is good for mental health. Listening to this podcast, maybe not so much.
So it's just net neutral.
Net neutral,
it was just
yes.
pointless.
Well, maybe they didn't need the pick me up of the walk, so they thought, well, I'm going to need a counteract to the pick me up here. Otherwise, I'll go home in a really good mood, and I don't want that. So I know what I'll listen to.
Shit.
It's not that good. Let's be honest. You're being nice with that review.
What, shit.
Yeah, that makes us sound better than we are.
I'm not typing, you're typing.
I wasn't going to break the silence. I was going to let you break the silence.
No.
I wonder how long we have to be quiet for people to forget they're listening to us and then go to like put something on and then they hear our voice and they'll be like, oh yeah, that's right. This is a podcast, but there's silence. What the hell's that all about?
We really aren't organised. We have nothing to talk about today, do we?
I think I'm too tired to bring topics of conversation up, to be honest.
It is 9:30. Why are we starting so late today?
If we started when we actually joined Discord, we'd probably have more energy, but
Well, you were late.
I was
eating
late.
Pizza.
You were eating, yours is a very valid reason.
It was a good pizza as well.
Yeah, I had pizza tonight too. I eat pizza.
Right.
I eat pizza like 4
We
times
have
a
a
week.
topic.
It's so bad.
Pizza toppings. We've probably done this before, but pizza toppings. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Of course it does. Anything can go on a pizza if you wish it hard enough.
House brick.
Yeah. It depends on your taste. I'm not going to judge someone who wants to eat a house brick on a pizza. And I'm definitely not going to start a fight with them if that's the kind of thing that they eat.
If you pizza, you no.
No, exactly. If you want to eat house brick on a pizza, then don't ask me for a fight. In fact, just don't come near me. But that's not specifically to people who eat brick pizzas. Just don't come near me. If you see me in the street, first of all, how the fuck do you know what I look like? Second of all, keep the fuck away from me.
You stream your face.
No, well, not anymore or at the minute. I will stream my face again soon.
VODs, and there are videos of it on YouTube.
Yeah, there are.
And I'm coming up to your neck of the woods soon.
You are, and I'm going into hiding. I built a panic room when I learned you were coming up here.
You can't build anything.
No, it's I put some.
It's a pillow fort with panic room written on the side, isn't it?
Well, it's almost a pillow fort. I put some Twixes under my desk, and I'm just going to hide under there with my emergency Twix. Yeah.
A Twix will last you what, 5? I saw the most disgusting thing I've ever seen yesterday.
But you've not been up here to see my face yet.
Worse.
Oh no. You didn't look in the mirror.
A guy came into work and he said, "Is my car ready?" I said, "No, it'll be about 5 minutes, mate. We're just finishing it off now." He said, "Okay, I'll stand by the door." I was like, "Right, crack on." And he was stood there by the door, takes his bag off, pulls a Kit Kat out. Nothing wrong with that. Perfectly fine Kit Kat. A fingered Kit Kat, not a chunky or anything like that.
Oh yeah.
Takes the wrapper off and then just bites into the side of it.
What?
That's not how you eat a Kit Kat.
I hope you withheld his car until he apologised for his actions.
I just wanted it out of my sight. I mean, I'm not harbouring a fugitive.
My God.
But it wasn't like I've seen other people do it before, where they bite you got your 4 fingers pointing towards you. No, he literally turned it sideways and bit the side of it.
What the hell? No. You're dealing. No, you know what? Actually,
it's like someone buying a Subway and eating it from the side.
I don't think you were dealing with a human here. I think if you stood close enough, you would notice that they weren't actually breathing. They were just moving the upper body in and out to imitate the chest muscles movement of breathing, because you're dealing with like the Wendigo or something.
Or is that proof of aliens?
Could be proof of aliens. Yes.
They've seen that we eat Kit Kats and they just didn't fully understand the assignment.
I'm rather suspicious of this person. Do people do that? It's like, this is a real story.
Yeah, this is genuine.
Okay. If anybody,
I also stopped working for about 5 seconds to stare at him.
Right.
Frankly, he didn't notice me staring at him. Just like,
if anybody listening thinks that that's the correct way to eat a Kit Kat, you can stop listening to this podcast right now. Okay? Because first of all, you're entitled to your opinion, but second of all, your opinion is fucking wrong.
You're not entitled to that opinion. That's not an opinion that anyone is entitled to. If you do eat Kit Kats like that, what you need to do is take yourself to the nearest mental health ward and say, "I am broken."
Go with a Kit Kat to demonstrate, and they'll put you in a straight jacket immediately.
Just open a well and push you into it. Fuck off.
The one that they keep with the girl from The Ring is in. Just push them down there.
She'd be scared of it. What are you doing? It's not how you eat a Kit Kat.
Scaring supernatural beings in an uncouth Kit Kat etiquette.
What we just do is put them in a little, like a box, send them out into space to orbit the solar system, and they'll keep aliens away. They'll go, no, fuck that shit.
You know what? Aliens probably already think, like, fuck that. These beings oxidize themselves to death. Don't go near the death breathers.
I still really want it to be true that all Earth is an alien sitcom.
What, and they're just or a reality show?
No, because reality shows know they're being watched. We don't. I want it to be something like Game of Thrones, where it starts off vague entertaining, lots of people killed each other. Then it settled off into the normal bit where there's all the diplomacy and everyone trying to be sensible and all that lot. And we're coming to the end of that now when everybody kills each other again.
That's depressing, James.
Also slightly could be true.
To think that we might be near the end.
Pete, if war with Russia's declared while I'm up north, can I come live with you?
James, if you were the last person on Earth, I'd still have reservations about living with you.
We could repopulate the Earth together.
That's not how it works, James. We've had this talk.
You're so much of a wimp, though.
Yeah, and just because mine's an innie doesn't mean it works that way.
Is it just that small?
Yep. It goes into reversed measurements.
Yeah, but you're old, so it's probably imperial, so it's like half a barley corn or something like that.
Half a barley corn, -3 bushels, 0.2 rods.
8 fathoms.
And also there's a large boulder the size of a small boulder outside. A sinkhole
Nice boulder.
roughly 32 washing machines long.
Anyone wondering what we're doing now? A load of our people on our Discord managed to find these tweets of Americans doing anything they can to not use the metric system.
Did you see? Did
you see? There was a sinkhole the size of 6 washing machines.
Did you see the one where it said Americans found a way to deep fry water? I put it in the Discord not long ago.
I missed that one.
Deep fry water. I mean, to be fair, they beat the Scottish to it. So, I mean, if there's a race to be had there, then they won that one. They beat science. They beat God. They beat Scotland. They deep fried water.
Well, I've managed to find a few of them now. Yeah. So this was from the San Miguel Sheriff. It was a Sheriff Alert, they're called. A large boulder the size of a small boulder is completely blocking the eastbound lane.
The size of a small boulder? It just contradicts itself in its own attempt to measure it. I don't get it.
This is from a textbook. I've seen this one before. Adult deer as tall as a bicycle. They weigh as much as 800 hamburgers.
Oh, God, is that the Ronald McDonald textbook?
So this is a news report, and there is a doggy-sized pothole patched on the north side.
A doggy-sized pothole. There are so many different breeds of dogs of all varying sizes. How could that possibly be accurate?
It's just... America, you amaze us.
Yes, you do. You send our head west.
Is the UN like the family gathering? When you've got all the cousins and all that lot come together, and it's like, oh, I'm a lawyer, I'm a doctor, I'm a mechanic, I'm a construction worker, all that lot. What do? I'm a free spirit who whittles spoons in the woods. He's just that weird cousin in the corner that nobody wants to talk to, isn't it?
Who's that, America?
Yeah.
Maybe. But I think you're overselling England's part in that. We sort of turn up and just go, hey guys, remember when we ruled half the world and did it wrong?
Rule Britannia. Sorry.
No.
Sorry.
No. You just made a penguin very happy.
That sounds a bit sexual.
Well. you know.
What about the penguin fact we had earlier?
The penguin fact, yes. Go on, I'll let you take this one.
There are 20 million penguins in Antarctica. The population of Ireland is 6.6 million. So if all penguins in Antarctica decided to invade Ireland, each person would have to fight off over 3 million penguins each.
How long do you think it will last? No, hang on. Bet365 have took it up here. You can place your bets because the word on the street is the penguins are beginning to march.
The March of the Penguins. That's a good film.
I've never seen it. Are you surprised?
It's a serious film.
It is a serious film, I'm given to believe.
Educational film.
Edumacational.
We watched it a lot in school because Blue Planet wasn't out yet. I'm
Blue
assuming
Planet.
that's what they watched
How
on DVD.
Good is Blue Planet?
I'm assuming that at school, at school when they used to bring a DVD out and they watched it, I'm assuming they just get Blue Planet now, which I'd be okay with.
Yeah, I would be. I'd be okay with that right now, actually.
And TikTok and all that lot, aren't they?
I don't understand social media.
You don't understand bread either. But
actually, the only part of social media I understand is the negative impact on people.
I found out something much more important than the mess that is society these days. Toast is a biscuit.
What?
Toast is a biscuit.
Yeah. Toast is bread.
Would you like to hear my reasoning?
No, I'm afraid.
See my workings.
Yeah. Okay. For the benefit of the class.
Show your working. Right.
Yeah, show your working.
Go up to the whiteboard now. I'm going to draw penis first, obviously.
Obviously, then rub it off.
The word biscuit comes from the French by cuit, which means cooked twice.
Okay. Oh, I see where you're going with this.
So to get toast, you have to have dough and you cook it into bread.
Yes.
And then you take that bread and cook it into toast. Therefore, toast is cooked twice. Therefore, toast is by cuit. Therefore, toast is biscuit.
My God. I cannot refute this.
You can't fault my logic. Toast is biscuit. Therefore,
all right.
Biscuits are fine for breakfast, so I can have a cookie for breakfast.
Okay, so...
with jam on it.
So, wait, let me just follow the logic here. Biscuit means cooked twice. So, when you buy your bird's eye chicken dippers, and they've already been cooked and frozen...
Biscuit.
They're biscuits. So, chicken dippers are also biscuits.
Yep.
And then for fish fingers are also biscuits.
Yep.
Oh, my God.
And, if you reheat them, are they then Triscuits?
Oh, my God. My reheated takeaway for the next day is Triscuits.
Exactly.
James, my brain is spinning.
Logic, can you?
No, I accept. I fully accept all of this. Toast is a biscuit. Yes.
We speak of religion.
The Church
Religions
of
don't
Biscuit
pay
and
tax.
Triscuit. Okay. Well, yeah, that's one reason to start one.
Can we make the wordsfromourmouths religion as a tax write-off?
And then we'll say, "May the words be with you," and also with you would be the response.
Speaking of which, it's Star Wars Day.
It is Star Wars Day.
May the 4th be with you.
No.
Yes.
No, I don't do Star Wars. I'm sorry.
You don't do a lot of things, but
I don't. You're
shut
right.
up and accept it.
That's just rude.
I'm just rude.
Yes. Yes, you are. What's your favourite Star Wars film, James?
Rogue One.
I don't know that one.
It's 3.5 technically.
3. Oh, hang on a second. I'm going to have to get my flow chart out again. Okay, so we've got the Clone Wars, Rebels. What the hell's a Mandalorian?
That's the TV series. Of Disney.
The Phantom Menace. I saw that one. The Empire Strikes. But I don't get it.
Would you like me to try and explain it to you?
No. I think we'd be here a long time. I would probably understand it. I
don't. I go for the TV series and all that lot, but the way the films. Obviously, there's two ways you can look at the films.
With your eyes open and with your eyes closed.
There's either release order or chronological order.
Right.
So they released, as in they came out in 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9.
Obviously.
But obviously, if you can have them in order of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that order then goes, it's The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and Rise of the Skywalker.
So where does your favourite come into this?
They are the main canon ones. Now, Rogue One is because the way Star Wars was made is originally it was going to be one film, just called Star Wars.
Right.
That then, when they released the second one, that then became Star Wars: A New Hope. So they finished the original trilogy. Then they released the prequels. But in A New Hope, suddenly they have the plans on how to destroy the Death Star. Nobody explains where they really get those plans from. They just happen to have the plans for the super secret base that the bad guys are making.
Yeah, you just find it knocking about as a collectible item.
So that they make 3 films of the prequels to come out. So everyone's assuming that in Revenge of the Sith, they would explain where the plans came from. They didn't.
Right.
So there was this massive plot hole. It was in the lore side of it and stuff. There was no actual film or TV series or anything explaining this massive plot hole of the fact that they go from building the Death Star to knowing how the Death Star is made and finding this super secret weakness that if you drop a missile at this angle down this tube, it'll blow the whole thing up.
So they made a whole film about that.
Rogue One explains how they went and got the plans.
Okay. That makes sense. That's a good reason to make another film.
Rather than it... Because the Star Wars... I like Star Wars, obviously, as you know. I don't do the side series and all that lot. I never got into Clone Wars. I can't get into The Mandalorian. I just like the main films. Problem is, especially... I like the... To be honest, I like the original trilogy. A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Last Jedi. I don't know what the fuck it was called then. The rest of them are all a bit too over the top for me. There's not really much story. It's more about just fight. Rogue One seems to have a good bit of story to it, which is why I like it. And the new ones are just shit. The most recent 3. Don't like them at all.
It's a popular opinion that they're not very good. But is that just from people who prefer the old... Like, because as you get older, you resist change more. Is that not that effect?
It could well be, which is... The thing is, majority of older people prefer the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Then the next generation tend to prefer the prequels, and the next generation are probably going to prefer the sequels.
I was going to say, it probably depends on what you've seen first.
I'm in the prequel generation. I saw the prequels first, but I prefer the sequels. The original, sorry.
Right, okay.
I'm just weird like that.
Maybe, well, it's not weird, is it? People still have preferences, but I think that it's one of those things that just largely depends on what you grew up with. On your first exposure to something. It's like when you ask someone what the favourite Final Fantasy is, it'll be the first one that they played. Without a shadow of a doubt, it'll be the first one they played. And it's unfair in that respect. It's unfair to compare those games because they are all quite different, really. I mean, they're typical JRPGs in a sense, but to compare them as JRPGs, they all vary quite a lot. So it's unfair to compare them directly, really, because they all have a different creative direction. On purpose, so. But I guess that's that's what could be said for the Star Wars films as well.
Yeah,
it's a different production team as well.
They're all written by the same guy. The stories by the same guy, but yeah, but it's like you can see some films just a director being different can make a huge change to the film.
That's what I was going to say. Like, just because he's put the whole overarching story together doesn't mean it's going to be produced in the same way. So it's like films are made in the same way that clothes are made. They appeal to the latest trends and things like that. They go for whatever is selling, whatever is or producing engagement from people. So the prequels were made drastically differently to the sequels, not only because of technology advances in the 30-year gap between them being made, but also in the changes in society and what people like to see in films as well.
The thing with one of the big things with Star Wars is a lot of retconning and retrofitting to make the story work better, and it's been so patched and changed and chopped and all that lot now that it's just a bit of a mess, in my opinion. But
it may well be.
I said there's a third order you can watch them in.
Oh.
It's called the Machete Order, which arguably is my favourite way to watch them. You watch 4 and 5, so it's A New Hope, then The Empire Strikes Back. Then you watch Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith as a flashback. Then you watch the 6th one, which is Return of the Jedi, and you skip 1 because it's shit. So the order you end up watching is 4, 5, 2, 3, 6.
So you skip Phantom Menace.
Yeah, because it's shit.
That was the only one I watched and enjoyed.
Mainly because of Jar Jar Binks.
In spite of Jar Jar Binks, actually, I enjoyed it.
That's
might
why
be.
It's because of Jar Jar Binks.
It might be because of the presence of Liam Neeson, actually. So I read, despite my...
Jar Jar Binks.
What?
Jar Jar Binks.
Oh,
Fuck
I
off.
see. Yeah, exactly. Well, you see, I read, despite my very, very slight grasp on Star Wars history, lore, story, I read a conspiracy theory that Jar Jar Binks is actually a Sith Lord.
Yeah, that's been going on for a few years
And,
now. It's stupid. Fuck off.
It makes some valid points, in my opinion, especially because I've not watched enough of the films to fact check what they're saying. You know, so...
Just making me think, there was a Star Wars strategy game I played back in the day. Galactic Battlegrounds.
Right.
It may well be the best Star Wars game ever made.
Okay.
Just a random one. If ever you've been looking for a strategy game, it's old. You're very aware it's old when you're playing it as well. It's not a young game. I'm just going to check now. 2001 it came out, so it's a 21-year-old
Good
game
heavens. That's
So
back in the realm of Command and Conquer.
Yeah, it's that style game. It's got a pretty good story, an okay story to it, let's be honest. But yeah, it looks very Age of Empires like. It's more like an Age of Empires reskin than anything. But it's a good game. It's good fun. And just us talking about Star Wars, it makes me want to go play it again.
So you don't think Jar Jar Binks was a Sith?
No.
No.
But that's what we think of it, because you could play the Gorgons, and I used to like playing them and kill them. I'd purposely play them and just not build anything and let them die.
So in The Phantom Menace, what does the title The Phantom Menace refer to?
We're not getting into this.
I just want an explanation from somebody who likes Star Wars.
I've seen the stories and all that. Phantom Menace refers to a menace who's a phantom.
But who was the menace? Who was the Phantom, though?
Darth Maul is the menace. I've decided.
Okay. I don't accept that.
Jar
but
Jar
thank
Binks.
you. I don't think it's Jar Jar Binks. I'm just asking who was the Phantom Menace.
I don't know, in all honesty.
Because
It's
the
been
name,
a long time since I've watched the Phantom Menace.
the name doesn't make any sense for the film.
The films don't make any sense.
Thank you for agreeing with that point as one of the reasons I don't bother doing Star Wars.
Because they're the prequels and they don't make sense. Watch the originals.
I don't think I've watched the originals. I might have done at some point. Or they might have been on in a room that I was in.
Do you remember Yoda in a swamp?
Yes, but from memes. It's not from watching the film. Sci-fi isn't really my genre. It struggles to hold my attention.
I love sci-fi. You're my fucking it up. I'm knackered. Well, it's 10 o'clock nearly.
I know. You'll go to bed in a minute. But it's like...
me?
Yeah, no, I'm not driving 600 miles to go to bed.
It's not that far.
All right, 550.
When I come up, we can share a bit, Pete.
You see, if I had to choose a genre, it would be fantasy over sci-fi, and it's a stupid reason I would choose it. The reason is because it feels more comfortable for me, and the reason it feels more comfortable for me is because fantasy, to me, always takes place in the past. So no matter what's happening, if they're using swords and magic, it's history, not accurate history, but it's in the past, and therefore it's already happened, and I'll never have to deal with it. Whereas sci-fi deals with things that are generally in the future, probably an alternative future. And if we consider some of the sci-fi things that were done in the past were set in this year or previous to this year, and we're nowhere near the level of technology that they portrayed.
Space Odyssey.
Yeah, something like that. But when it comes to stuff like that, or like with aliens and things like that, or dystopian futures, there's always...
I think Aliens happened already, if I remember rightly.
It might have done. But there's always the very slim chance that I'll have to deal with that in the future.
Oh, no, sorry, Aliens 21, 22.
21, 22.
For some reason I thought it was this year, but it's not. It's 21, 22.
Given the progression rate, we'll just about be getting solar panels put on roofs at that point.
Well, that's the point. Yeah, Alien 2 is a flashback, is in the past, isn't it? So that's 2093. When's Prometheus set? Prometheus is a shit film, by the way. 2089. We got into 2089, Pete.
Okay, I'll be dead by then. That's fine. But how will I have died? What will have happened up to that point?
I like sci-fi films, but I like the realistic ones.
Like,
I quite like Alien and all that lot. It's a bit extreme, but I do like them. But that's just the nostalgia side of it. But things like Gravity, which has inaccuracies, of course, they all do. But there's parts of it that are completely realistic. Interstellar, the science is loosely correct, if that makes sense.
kind of. It's based on things that could be true.
Fairly accurate science. Obviously, there are bits bent and all that lot to make it easier.
The point you're making is it's not space magic like the Force.
Yeah, exactly. It is man, chemical rocket, that sort of thing. I like The Martian. The Martian's pretty damn accurate. The only thing really, you speak to most scientists, the only thing wrong with The Martian is how severe the storm is at the start. Have you seen The Martian?
No.
That's a really good film, actually. You should watch that. But in The Martian, the idea behind it is Matt Damon gets left on Mars. So
I'm all for that idea. Let's do that now.
They're doing Mars missions and all that lot, and there's a really bad storm, so they decide to scrub the mission, and they're moving to the rocket that can take them back to space. Mark Watney, who's the character Matt Damon plays, gets hit by a satellite dish and disappears into the distance. The storm's so bad you can't see more than a foot in front of you. They quickly search, can't find him. The biomonitor said he's dead, they abandon him. Fly off, turns out he's not dead.
Oh.
The satellite dish that hit him pierced directly through his biomonitor, so it knocked him out because of the depressurization. But then his blood blocks the hole, but it takes the monitor out, hits the thing that relays your heart rate and all that lot to the rest of the team. So they saw him as dead because the biomonitor stopped and he wasn't talking. So he's got to be dead. They've got to leave, or else they're going to die as well.
So he becomes a Martian because he gets left on Mars.
Yeah, so he is the Martian. And technically, officially to colonise somewhere, you must grow crops there. And because in the film he grows potatoes on Mars, he technically colonises Mars.
That's what counts as colonising.
Yeah, that's how you officially colonise somewhere, according to some people.
The people who make the rules.
Also, he becomes a space pirate.
Interesting.
Because the book's really good as well.
Actually, yeah, Spot recommended the book. I might check that out, see if I can read it first.
Andy Weir is the author. He does some awesome books. The Martian, Artemis, and Project Hail Mary are 3 brilliant books. You must read them if you're vaguely into sci-fi. Especially, it's quite a comedic sci-fi. The science is accurate, but the characters are funny. They're very self-depreciating characters and stuff like that.
I'll tell you what's not a funny story.
Yeah, anyway, just before I forget, because I will forget this. On The Martian, the only thing wrong with it is, like, it's a 200-mile-an-hour storm. But on Mars, because the atmosphere is so thin, that would just be like a slight bit of dust blowing around, not what they experienced. That's really the only scientific problem with the film. Is the storm's not accurate. Or the visuals of the storm's not accurate. You can have a 200-mile storm, and getting hit by a satellite dish at 200 miles an hour will probably hurt.
Yeah, I imagine so. It would put a dampener on my day.
It would, but there wouldn't be the visibility issue that the film has.
Fair enough. Okay, well, I'll tell you what's not a funny story is War of the Worlds, the book.
Bum, bum, bum.
And the musical's not a funny story, really. It's a fantastic piece of entertainment.
It is.
But the book is really dark.
The
really
priest,
dark.
No, what is he? He's not a priest, he's not a vicar.
Oh, don't make me think of words.
Cool.
It begins with a P.
Is he a parishioner?
Parson?
Parishioner? Parson. He is a parson, yes. Parson Andrews?
I don't remember.
I'm stretching a bit there on my knowledge, but he fucking annoys me. He deserves to die.
I don't know. There's a lot of humans
War
that
of the Worlds
deserve to
cannot
die.
be spoiled.
War of the Worlds cannot be spoiled. No.
When did it come out?
The book in 1898.
Wasn't that old? Oh no, not the fucking Tom Cruise film.
Is that what came up when you googled it?
It was 1898. Is that what you said?
Yeah. I knew that. I didn't get. Yeah, I knew it.
I assumed you were guessing.
Yeah, no, I read it a couple of times a year.
I listened to it.
And I still can forget the characters' names, but the book is so much darker than any other depiction of it. Like the Tom Cruise film's pretty dark. Like, you know, it's pretty grim.
Oh, when was the radio broadcast that scared Americans?
1924.
A lot newer than that.
70s? I don't know.
77.
77. Okay.
For those wondering what we mean by scared the Americans.
Have you listened to that radio broadcast, James?
Yes, I have listened to the radio broadcast.
Yeah. Can you understand why it scared Americans?
I can understand why. Basically, when one of the versions of War of the Worlds was a audio drama. And they do it as if it is...
News reports.
Reading from a news report from Britain about the invasion from Mars from the War of the Worlds. But it's done like a proper news report.
Yeah.
And basically...
Flitting between different newscasters as well.
Yeah, it was Americans. It wasn't on mainstream. It was generally people using ham radios and short band radios and like personal radios, flicking around the frequencies, happened to catch a bit of the broadcast. That's what got them going. And it got quite a few people properly scared into thinking that we were being invaded. And obviously this was before internet and the news could travel quickly, so it was local towns were thinking they'd been invaded and they hadn't told anybody to be corrected on it. And then apparently, I don't know how true this side of it is, but the people were like preparing for the alien invasion and all sorts.
Yeah, I can't verify any reports for you, James, but I've heard that it kicked up a bit of a shitstorm around some people. But you see, the particular part of that audio drama that got me was when they were talking about the black smoke that the tripods are supposed to throw. Yeah. It's just low-hanging smoke that's obviously poisonous in some way. There's a news reporter talking about that smoke being thrown somewhere, and they talk about how the smoke gets close to their position, and then there's just a thudding noise, and then silence. There's no like screaming and people in pain. They don't dramatize the death of the people. They just die. It's just silence, and it's like that's way more impactful than having someone screaming as if their arm's been torn off or something. It's like, no, this thick smoke has just consumed them. They're gone. Oh, horrible.
Sorry, I got my facts a little bit wrong. The original broadcast was October 30th, 1938.
I knew it was earlier than 77.
It was rebroadcasted in 1977.
Right, okay. I was going to say the 70s sounded because the 70s is when Jeff Wayne did his musical.
Yeah, I think it was with all that, it was then rebroadcasted.
1938.
1938.
Wow, that's a long time ago.
What was funny is because it said that one was on CBS. I'm like, no, it was broadcast on the BBC, wasn't it?
I believe it was BBC. Yeah. Yeah, because I listened to it on the BBC archives, which I think this was like 7 or 8 years ago.
According to this, it was originally broadcast in America.
Did the BBC not broadcast in America then?
It was recorded in Columbia Broadcasting Building, 485 Madison Avenue, New York.
Oh.
The original release was 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time.
Look at all this stuff we're learning.
All the Worlds was the 17th episode of the CBS radio series The Mercury Theatre on Air. It was broadcast at 8 p.m. on 30th of October 1938. H.G. Wells' original novel tells the story of Martian invasion of Earth. The novel was adapted for radio by Howard Koch, who changed the primary setting from 19th century England to 20th century United States. I didn't even know that.
Oh yeah, I remember that actually. Changed the setting of it, yeah, because I remember having many questions when I started hearing the names of towns and things. It's good though. If you get a chance to check it out, do check it out.
The show went on air shortly after 8 p.m. Eastern Time at 8:32. Houseman noticed Taylor step out of the studio to take a telephone call in the control room, who returned 4 minutes later looking pale as death, as he had been ordered to immediately interrupt the War of the Worlds broadcast with an announcement that the show was a fictional content. By the time the order was given, the fictional news reporter played by Ray Collins was choking on poison gas as the Martians overwhelmed New York, and the program was less than a minute away from its first scheduled break, which proceeded as previously planned.
Jesus.
But yes, for those who haven't done it, read the book, listen to the US broadcast. I've never actually listened to it. I'm going to listen to it later.
Good.
But also
really good.
on Audible, there is a who did the musical version, Pete?
Jeff Wayne.
Thank you. There is a version of Jeff Wayne's on Audible. It's an Audible exclusive recording version of it, and it is so good. It is done so well. And I urge you to listen to it.
And I urge you to read it, but the book's not long. It won't take you long to read, but it will live with you for a long time after.
And then you'll understand when we
you
go,
will not.
Bum, bum,
well, no, actually, you read it and you'll think, "Who the fuck thought I'll turn this into a musical?"
And then you hear the musical and go,
yeah. Anyway, we've grown
dun.
well over time. After not having something to talk about, again, in the last 10 minutes, we thought of many things to talk about. This has been Words From Our
Talk about
Mouths.
that for ages.
Yeah. Next time, we'll talk about things that should have happened up to this point, according to films and books and things.
Wait, now we've got to remember that.
I won't remember it. No one's going to hold me to that, James. Let's plug the socials.
I'll make a note. We'll remember it. Plug the socials. Right. Plug in socket. Flick the switch. Yep. All right. The one.
All the socials are on. Okay, we'll see you next time.
Go to the link tree.
Just look in the description. Look at the description if you want. If you want things, look in the description. It's all there.
I don't even know if the link tree's in the description. It should be.
It should be. If it's not, join the Discord and ask us for it. I mean, if you really want to be involved with us, join the Discord.
Follow us on Twitter @ourmouths. Follow us on TikTok @ourmouths. We have Instagram and Facebook. Don't follow us there. We don't use it. Go on YouTube, like, subscribe. Go to Spotify, Apple, that lot, and do the liking, rating, subscribing, downloading business. And yeah, look in the description below. Hopefully, I'll remember to put the link tree in. And if so, click on that and it gives us links to everything. You can also send us an email at wordsfromourmouths@gmail.com.
And next week we'll have something to talk about from the get-go.
You just said what we were going to talk about. I've already fucking forgot what you said.
Me too.
Things that film said should happen.
Yes. All right, we're well over time here, James. Let's say goodbye.
No, make me.
All right, well, thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye.